Hey everyone, welcome to another video here on my channel. I just got home from Costco and I picked up a pretty good haul of vegan, organic, and sort of health food items. And on my way home, when I was driving home, I was thinking that would actually make a great video, and I think I've seen Costco hauls kind of floating around before. What I find with Costco is that they have a lot of really great vegan, organic, and sort of like health food options. It's not like a regular grocery store, obviously, where they have like a dedicated health food section, but if you take some time to just kind of walk up and down the aisles, you can find a lot of really great staple items, and it may even be a little bit cheaper than purchasing stuff, you know, like every single week at your regular grocery store. My husband and I joke around because I swear it's like every time we go to Costco, it's like so hard to spend less than $200 or $300. It always feels like kind of pricey when you're first paying for everything, but I find that the groceries that I get at Costco are amazing quality. I'm always super happy with everything that I buy, and I find that it lasts me a really long time, and there's a lot of really great sort of vegan, healthy, hidden gems, so to speak, in Costco. So kind of random, but the first thing I have is this massive thing of laundry soap. This is the Springtime biodegradable, complete, deep clean, freshening laundry soap. This is good for 165 loads, and it's good for all washing machines, including the high efficiency ones. You can see that little logo on there. I like this because it is so cheap. It's like $9, I think, for this massive thing. It cleans my clothes really, really nicely. I'm always happy with how they come out. The reason that I buy this one really is because it's cruelty free. I guess it's something that I'm sort of picky about, is finding like a good laundry soap that's not like obscenely expensive, where your clothes come out really nice, but that are cruelty free or not tested on animals. So I really like this one for that reason. Some of this stuff here I had already, so I wanted to show you guys. My husband actually picked these up for me at Costco on the weekend, and these came in a case. I just grabbed a single one from my fridge to show. This is the Kavita sparkling fermented drink. It's an apple cider vinegar based drink, and this is in the flavor turmeric ginger. So this is very similar to kombucha, but rather than it coming from a fermented tea, this is actually apple cider vinegar based, and then the live cultures and enzymes are added to it. It's a little more like pungent. I wouldn't say it tastes like, it doesn't taste like you're actually having like a shot of apple cider vinegar. Sometimes I'll mix just straight apple cider vinegar with cold water and drink that, and admittedly it doesn't taste very good. Like, it tastes pretty bad. So I thought that this would be another great way of getting the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. There are probiotics and live cultures added to it, and it has some other like spice extracts, it says on the ingredients. You can taste the ginger in it, like it has that sort of like spicy kind of flavor to it. I feel like I'm not doing this any justice in terms of the taste. Honestly, I could see how somebody would find this to be like kind of weird to drink, similar to kombucha, but I really, really like it. I'm personally like not one to drink just plain water. I'm actually trying really hard to increase my water intake lately, so I have a glass here, but I like these types of drinks because they're fairly low calorie, they don't have a lot of sugar in them, and then I'm getting the benefits, of course, of the live enzymes and the probiotics. So this is also labeled as being vegan and non-dairy, so if you look at the types of probiotics that are added in there, sometimes those can actually be grown on a dairy source. So these came in a case of 6. I believe they were around $12 or $13.99. My husband picked those up for me on the weekend, so I'd had these already, but they do come in a big case. He also picked up a case of the GT's Gingerade kombucha for me, so these also come in a case of 6. When he picked them up, they happened to be on sale, so I think these were also $12.99, which is really, really inexpensive. I saw the same case today at Costco when I went, and it was $17.99, which truthfully is still a pretty decent deal. When I go to my regular grocery store, I pay anywhere from $3 to $5 like per bottle of kombucha, so to buy them in the case at Costco is a really great way of saving a little bit of money if you drink a lot of kombucha. They do have another brand called, oh, I can't think of the name. Brew Doctor? Is that a kombucha brand? They also have those. They come in like the little short, like chubby kind of bottles. Those, I can't remember the price. I want to say they're like $15 or $16.99, and you also get 6. So I was really excited to see that Costco has all of these different fermented drink options and sort of like health food drink options, which is a really great thing to have instead of juice or pop, obviously. So I always grab a case of those when I go to Costco, and I drink usually one per day. I also buy my my natural peanut butter at Costco. These come in a 2-pack. So I have one in the fridge opened already. So once again, this is from a previous Costco trip. I believe 2 jars of peanut butter are $8.99, and these are massive jars. And of course, peanut butter is a staple item of mine. I put it on toast. I'll eat it just like as a peanut butter sandwich if I'm super lazy and don't want to cook. That's kind of one of my go-to basic vegan meals, is just literally peanut butter on like whole grain bread or whole grain toast. I also add it to my protein shake, which I showed in one of my previous what I eat in a day videos, how I make my post-workout shake, which is a combination of natural peanut butter, vegan protein powder, and some creatine powder. So if you haven't seen that video and you want to see an example of how I use peanut butter, you can check that out. Another thing that came in a 2-pack from Costco was this Frank's Red Hot. I really don't recall how much this was. I know at the regular grocery stores, a much smaller bottle of this is around $4 or $5. I want to say for the 2-pack, it was like $7.99 or maybe $8.99 at Costco. And once again, similar to the peanut butter, these are much larger jars and you get 2 of them. So I mean, the thing with Costco is obviously you're buying typically like a larger amount of something, you're buying a bigger container, a bigger jar of it. Just buy things that will keep well, that you can kind of put away, especially if you have a smaller household or a smaller family. For me, it's just my husband and I, and a lot of this stuff actually, I'm the only one that eats it. So I'm kind of picky about what I'll actually buy. And I mean, do I necessarily need to buy a 2-pack of Frank's Red Hot? Well, actually, yeah, I do, because I literally put hot sauce on everything. But I mean, you may not necessarily need to buy like cases or big containers of all of this stuff. And obviously you only want to buy stuff that's going to keep well. But I love Frank's Red Hot. I literally do put that on everything. So the 2-pack of that. Another thing that I picked up on my last Costco trip was this bottle of avocado oil. So this is 100% pure avocado oil. I absolutely love this. It just comes as the 1 jar, and it is a little bit, once again, less expensive than buying it at my regular grocery store. And it comes in a bit of a larger bottle. So you do get 1 full liter in this bottle. And I love avocado oil because it has a higher smoke point, so you can heat it a little higher than some other types of oil, and it won't go rancid or anything like that. So I love that. Again, I honestly don't really remember what this costs. I should have prepared for this video a bit better to tell you guys the price, but the reason I'm showing these items, the reason I purchased them, is because they end up being far more worth it in the long run. I also have extra virgin olive oil from Costco. This I feel like I just kind of picked up. I bought a 2-pack of olive oil on a previous Costco trip, and that worked out to be a little bit less expensive. I go through a ton of olive oil, so that would definitely be something that would be worth buying for me at Costco. Another thing that's an awesome deal is this giant bag of quinoa. So this is a 5-pound bag of quinoa. I think this was $9.99. I bought this at a previous Costco trip, but I saw it there again today. Definitely a lot less expensive to buy quinoa at Costco versus your regular grocery store. And that's something that I generally will eat quite a bit of or cook in large portions when I'm doing my meal prepping and that for the week. So quinoa I always pick up at Costco. Rice is another great thing that you can purchase from there. This particular one is a blend of organic basmati rice, and there's also dry lentils in there. I love having this with tofu or with vegetables, and it makes a really nice sort of filling side dish, or you can even make a full meal out of it because you're getting your brown rice and your lentils, so it makes a complete protein. This is a 4-pound bag, and once again, it was around $8 or $9, and that's something that I would consider a staple item of mine from Costco. Another thing I bought the last time I went is this huge bag of cold milled golden roasted flax seeds. So I bought this specifically for baking. I haven't actually done any baking in the last little while. Since I started intermittent fasting, I've been trying to reduce like sugar and sort of processed foods. I'm trying to eat a little bit more protein and a little bit more fat and a little bit less carbs, especially coming from things like baked goods. But anyway, not to get too off topic, flax seeds are a really great source of omega-3 fatty acids. So if you're not taking a supplement, or if you're not sort of being cautious about where you're getting your omegas, ground flax seeds specifically too, because if you purchase the whole flax seed without actually grinding them to add to things, the body can't always completely break down that little bit of firmer or sort of exterior shell on the flax seeds, so you may not be actually getting all the benefits or absorbing all the nutrients from your whole flax seeds. So I really recommend that you pick up some ground flax if you're not already supplementing for omega-3s, or if you're not sort of paying attention to where you're getting them in your diet. This is something that is great to add to smoothies, to protein shakes. I add it to pancakes, muffins, baked goods like I mentioned. You can even sprinkle it on salads, or you can toss it with some rice or quinoa. You can literally add it to anything, and it's a really great way of getting some fiber and some omegas in your diet. These can be fairly expensive at regular grocery stores. So I got this, again, massive Costco bag. Let's see how big it is. This is 1.2 kilograms, and this cost me around $8 or $9. Another definite staple of mine is this gigantic thing of coconut oil. This was $23 or $24.99, something like that. I bought this quite a while ago actually, but I was putting some stuff away in my pantry and I saw it and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna quickly mention that in the video. This is a massive thing. It's 3.79 liters, so almost 4 liters of coconut oil. This is a refined coconut oil, which is good to use if you're cooking with it and you don't want that coconutty flavor. I also buy virgin coconut oil. I bought this just because obviously it's huge and it was such a good price. It's something that I use a ton of. I also make, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen me make those little like fat bomb things. I started the intermittent fasting, which I'm still doing. I'm trying to do 16-hour fasts. For a while I was doing 14-hour fasts, but anyway, when I started doing that, I started making those little fat bombs, which are like so good. I love them. I should show you guys those in a video one day, but I like to use this for those because I make tons of them in a week. I usually make them twice a week and I'll make like 25 or so of them at a time. So this big container has no coconut flavor or scent, so it's also great for cooking if you don't want your food to taste like coconut. It is refined, so I mean, of course we want to try to use unrefined virgin oils as much as possible. But that was such a good deal and such a huge container of something that I use a ton of. So I thought, you know what, I'll try that out, and I do really like it. So the last thing that I had in my pantry already is this bag of pecans. So just in general, Costco always has these massive bags of nuts. They have almonds, walnuts, they have the pecans. Today I picked up a bag of raw cashews. I go through tons of these. I usually just eat them like plain as they are. These are raw, so they don't have any added oil or salt. They're not roasted, which I really like. Same with the pecans. These don't have anything added to them. For these, they're around $20 a bag. They're usually around $19.99. On today's Costco trip, I also picked up a bag of pistachios. This was also $19.99. These are dry roasted and salted, so just be aware of that. It's a great snack to have in the house, honestly. Like, we put these out for our guests and they love them. If I'm feeling like I want like chips or like some kind of salty junk food, which I've been really trying to completely avoid lately, I'll reach for these instead, because at least obviously the pistachios are going to give you some great health benefits. So these pistachios are one of my favorite like vegan, not even treat, I don't even want to call it a treat because they are good for you, but when I'm feeling like I want to sit in front of the TV or watch a movie or just kind of hang out and have like almost like more of like a little bit of a snack food, those come in really handy. So one of the new items that I picked up today at Costco is this bag of avocados. This, to be honest, wasn't the best deal. I just didn't feel like going to another grocery store. But what I will say is, so this is an avocado bag that costs $8.99, so $9. They're huge avocados though. So sometimes I'll buy like a bag of avocados like this at my local grocery store, and they're usually anywhere from $3 to $5 for the same amount of avocados, but they're like really small, and I always find that they like go bad, and they're not always like the nice avocados. These are beautiful avocados. They're always so good. They have such a nice texture to them. So this bag of them here was $9, which is really not an amazing deal for avocados. Another great vegan staple, especially if you are doing like intermittent fasting or you try to include more ketogenic friendly foods in your diet. I really suggest avocados. They're awesome. Okay, the next thing is my literal favorite Costco item, which you can make fun of me if you want, but look at this amazing huge jar of raw organic sauerkraut. I'm obsessed with this. This is $10 for this massive thing. I love it. It tastes so good. It's the raw organic, sort of like unpasteurized type of sauerkraut by the brand Wild Brine, which is awesome. They also make this red cabbage. It is sauerkraut, but I think they like sell it more as like a salad sort of thing. This is just your straight up raw organic sauerkraut. I love this so much. I always have a little serving of it with my dinner or lunch, whatever I'm eating. Doesn't matter what I'm eating, I always have a little serving of this on the side. My husband also really loves this. I'm totally the health freak of our house. Like, I'm the one that's always wanting to buy all these nice, organic, healthy, clean foods. My husband likes to have a little more fun with his diet, but even he absolutely loves this stuff, so we go through a lot of it. I was so excited to find this at Costco because I usually buy like these teeny little jars. If you've watched my other grocery haul videos, I'm sure I've mentioned them in those before, but they're just like really small jars. They're usually anywhere from $5.99, $6.99, something like that. This is way bigger. I don't have one of those smaller jars to compare, but this is a 1.5 liter container. It lasts for maybe 2 weeks, depending on how much of it we're eating. I generally eat it every single day. If my husband's getting into it, we'll obviously go through it faster, but this is a much bigger container, way better price. I actually almost prefer the flavor of this one to the other one. It's by the brand Carthian. Is that how you say it? They make one in a big jar, but I have to go to this health food store to get the bigger jar, and the other health food store is kind of out of the way. If I just go to my regular grocery store, it just comes in these like wee little jars. They're like $6, and I honestly could eat that in like 2 days. This lasts way longer, and I actually almost prefer the flavor of it. So this is organic green cabbage, sea salt, and organic garlic. You can taste a little bit of the garlic, but it's not overpowering. So I really like that it contains that garlicky kind of flavor. The other thing with this too is that I find it has an even more like vinegary flavor, which it does not contain vinegar. The best types of sauerkraut will only be cabbage and salt, but it tastes like vinegary. Like, it has that like really like sour flavor, which I love. Like, I love it. If you're somebody that wants to start eating more fermented foods, more live foods to help with your gut flora, I really suggest you try sauerkraut if you haven't already. The Kavita drink and the kombucha drink that I mentioned earlier are some of my other favorite forms of fermented food, but sauerkraut is definitely right up there, and I almost feel like a day isn't complete unless I've had my sauerkraut. Only I would get excited about this, but I love it. I love that Costco has it. And the other thing about Costco that frustrates me to no end, I love you, Costco, like I love it. It's funny because every time my husband and I drive by on the highway, I'm like, oh my God, there's Costco. Like, I get so excited when I see it like from a distance. But my one gripe with Costco is that once you find something that you love, you'll go one day and it won't be there anymore. You'll go back to get it and it will be gone. Like this popcorn that I love, oh my God, I love it so much. It's the Boom Chicka Pop in the purple bag. It's the kettle corn. Oh my God, it's so good. It's like my favorite vegan junk food. I love it. I could smash like a huge bag of it myself, no problem. I don't let myself, but it's so freaking good. And like, again, at my local grocery store, this tiny little bag of it is like $4, but at Costco, you can buy a gigantic bag of it for like $4. And they don't have it anymore. They stopped selling it. So I'm still like pretty annoyed about that. I hope it comes back. So Costco, don't get rid of this. Please don't get rid of this. I'll be so upset. Anyway, that's my rant about my favorite organic sauerkraut. I also grabbed this massive thing of baby spinach. I've been trying really hard to get through the whole container, because what I always do anytime I buy anything that's like leafy, whether it's kale or romaine lettuce or spinach or whatever, I find that I'll use it for like the first few days and then I don't finish it, and then the whole bottom of it gets all nasty and it starts to go bad, and then I have to throw it out. So I've been trying really hard to not let that happen with my greens. I buy this big container, so you get how much? 11 ounces. I buy this big container at Costco because I make my smoothies with it. So I have a video where I'm meal prepping with smoothies. So I'll make like 6 or 8 smoothies in advance and put them in mason jars, the wide mouth ones, and put them in the freezer. And then my husband and I can just, you know, grab and go these frozen smoothies. So having a big thing of spinach is helpful for that. And I also love to saute this with a little bit of garlic and olive oil and have that as my greens with my dinner. I try to always eat some kind of green vegetable with my dinners. Another staple item, another vegan staple of mine is this 20 grain train whole wheat sprouted bread. This is by the brand Silver Hills Sprouted Bakery. I have talked about this brand here on my channel before. They, bar none, make my favorite bread. The one that I actually like the best is called the Big 16. So if I'm at my regular grocery store, I buy it there, and it's usually around, I think I pay $4.79 per loaf, whereas at Costco, this one is not my favorite type, but it's really, really similar. The reason I like that other bread is because it's fairly high in protein. So this has 6 grams, this particular one has 6 grams per slice. So 12 grams of protein for 2 slices is not bad. It's not like a huge amount of protein, but it's always nice to have a little bit of extra in there. I can't remember how much this was either. This is the most unhelpful video. $6 or $7. It's cheaper than just buying them one at a time. This freezes really well, so I'll keep one out, put it in the fridge. These breads don't contain like a lot of preservatives, so they will go pretty moldy pretty quickly. So I suggest you either store both in the freezer and just kind of take slices as you need them, or if you go through a lot of bread and you eat sandwiches, or if you have a bigger household and you have more people living at home and they're eating it all the time, it will keep pretty well just in the fridge if you don't have room in your freezer. So that's another staple. Another thing that I love from Costco is this 6-pack of soy milk. So this is the organic fortified soy beverage original. They don't have one that's unsweetened, which I wish they did. The only thing that I truthfully use this for is like if sometimes I make pancakes, or if I'm doing some kind of vegan cooking or baking that calls for non-dairy milk, I'll typically use soy milk. So I wish it was unsweetened just to crack down on the sugar. There's 6 grams of sugar per 1 cup serving, which isn't terrible. I wish it was lower, but whatever. It's cheap. This is like $9 or something for this 6-pack. These are almost 1 liter containers. They're just shy of 1 liter. I use these for my protein shakes. I don't use a lot in my shakes. I usually put like 3/4 water, and then I just top up my shaker cup with a bit of soy milk just to help it taste a little bit more creamy, because I really, really don't like a super watery post-workout shake. So I'll top up my shakes a little bit with soy milk. I'm not necessarily drinking this like for the flavor of it, so that's the reason that I wish it was unsweetened, but it's a good price. So when I'm at Costco, I'll grab this. Alternately, if I'm at my regular grocery stores and I'm buying soy milk, I usually go for the unsweetened versions, just to eliminate that little bit of extra sugar that you don't really necessarily need to be consuming if you're only putting it in something like a protein shake. I don't know what the lighting is going to be like on this video. It's like so hot. It's so friggin' hot out. I'm like not somebody that likes heat at all. I live in Ontario. I live in southern Ontario, just outside of Toronto, and it was like almost 40 degrees here yesterday, and I like honestly can't handle that. So I have all of my blinds down and shut in the house, and my air conditioner is like blasting. So I feel like the lighting on this video is not that great, but I'm really excited because last week I ordered like a really big ring light. I do makeup too, like that's what I do for work during the day. So I bought it to use for that. And then I realized like I bought it for that purpose, but then I realized, oh, I can use it for my YouTube videos too. So hopefully next week I'll have my new ring light, and maybe my video quality might improve a little bit from being a little bit more well lit, because it's kind of darkish in my house right now because I don't really have much natural light coming in. So I apologize for that if you can tell that the lighting's not so good. Anyway, a few more Costco items left. I bought these Holy Guacamole minis. This is a really great price. It's $9.99 for 12 minis. I actually do prefer making my own guacamole. I always have fresh avocados, and I'll make my own guacamole typically. The only problem that you're probably aware of if you've ever made it before, or if you eat a lot of avocados, it goes black or brown like so fast. And like this is something that I like to eat pretty much almost daily. Like I love having it as a snack, and I love having it ready. So I mean, I'm definitely somebody that likes to meal prep. I like to make stuff in big batches to keep in the fridge. But obviously like if you make like a huge thing of guacamole for the week, it's gonna be nasty in like 2 days. So I much prefer making my own guac. But honestly, these things are like great to have, especially in a pinch when I'm like starving. I don't have like stuff ready made in the fridge, and I've been at work all day, or I'm just coming home from somewhere and I want to quickly eat something without having to worry about going through tons of meal prep and cooking. These are awesome to have with some Mary's crackers, which I also picked up, speaking of that. So I got this nice big box of Mary's crackers. Costco pretty much always has these, which I'm happy to see. I've never seen them not have these. This was $8 or something like that, $8 or $9, and you get 2 like big bags. Mary's crackers are very expensive where I live. They are usually like $6 or $7 for like the small regular box, which I have one over here. So these are the super seed, everything, garlic, onion, poppy seed, loaded yet light Mary's crackers. These are so good, like so good. But these ones I got on sale, but this is like the box size comparison. Like you get this huge Costco one. There's 2 bags of the Mary's crackers in this box, and then this one just comes with like a little small bag. These I got on sale for like $4 at my regular grocery store. They're usually $5.99, I think, for the small box, which is kind of, I think it's a ripoff. So the Costco size box is a much better deal. The last thing that I got today is something that I'm really excited about. I was so happy. I was so happy when I saw this. This is the Tolerant Organic Vegetable Legume Penne. I've never tried this one specifically, but what I used to buy at Costco, and then once again it disappeared, which makes me so frustrated, was by the same brand, Tolerant, and it was the red lentil rotini, I think. Oh my God, it's so yummy. It's so good with just a little bit of like tomato sauce, regular tomato sauce. Honestly, even plain, like sometimes I would just boil it, put a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of herbamare and maybe some chili flakes, and I would just eat it plain. It's so good. But the reason that I love this pasta is because it's so high in protein. This one is a blend of green lentil flour, corn flour, and organic beet powder. So I'm curious about how that's gonna taste. But I love this brand, and I specifically loved the red lentil penne and the red lentil rotini. It's so good. It has an almost like peppery flavor. Like it's so good, and it makes me not want to even eat like regular pasta. The other one that I used to get from this brand was the red lentil. It was either penne or rotini, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure in that one, for a 1 cup serving, which I can eat a lot of pasta, I would easily eat a 1 cup serving of that. It was like something like 24 or 25 grams of protein, which is like an awesome amount of protein. There's so many great ways of preparing it, and I just always find that using a little bit of this high protein pasta as sort of like a base for your meal, it just makes it so filling and so satisfying and so yummy. That's pretty much it for today's Costco haul. Hope you guys got a taste of all the great, awesome vegan and healthy foods that you can pick up at Costco. Of course, with Costco, you have to have a membership. It's like $50 for the year or whatever, but it's so worth it. I get a good portion of my groceries from Costco. I get things that come in these larger containers, stuff that I know will last me, you know, a little bit longer. There's a lot of other things actually that I pick up there, and I find that every time I go, there's some like new thing that I haven't seen before. Like this pasta is a good example. I've heard of that brand and I've tried other products by them, but that specific one I had never tried before. I'm always finding each time I go is that they seem to add like more vegan options or more of these sort of like health food items every single time I go. So there's tons there for you if you're plant-based or you're vegan. I really do think it's worth having the membership. Even if it's just a couple of you living at home, I don't know, maybe if it's just one person, I don't know if it's really gonna be worth it. But I think it's definitely worth it. Even if there's just 2 people at home, it's probably even more worth it if you have a little bit of a bigger family, because you can get these sort of larger quantity items, and it ends up being a little bit cheaper in the long run because it's gonna last you a longer period of time. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and have a great day.